Welcome to Evoking Evolution. Finding your connection with the earth through your feet. Letting the shoulders roll back. Hands to shoulders, roll back. Unfurling arms, opening skyward, lifting through the rib cage. So you're looking up. Pulsing the heart a little bit further up. Come back. Then the arms are pressing down. You press through the soles of your feet to lift your heels. Soften the knees. Let the arms come up. Imagine between your hands you have a full moon. Take rotations, gazing at the moon. Bringing the arms down. With a sense of sky, we connect with the bird life. We shift our weight first to prepare to balance. And bird life commenced around 150 million years ago. Taking the weight into the right. We are swooping with the left. From this swoop, we cross the leg over. The arms reach out. The left arm comes underneath. We either make a V or we wrap round. We can bend the legs if that's appropriate. You might even be able to take the foot off. We come out, a sense of swooping arms. The left leg takes you into warrior one. We find our wings here and we're going to take them back and forward. So the feet are planted. There's movement through the legs, the torso, the arms. Then we shift that weight into the front one. We're taking the arms out either side, possibly lifting up the back heel, possibly the foot, and coming into your balance. And come out of the balance. Back to a neutral standing position. And then we're going to go on the other side. So the weight, we'll do a few weight shifts. And then we're coming into the left. So we can swoop. The right leg crosses. The right arm comes under. We make a V, or we wrap. We might possibly bend. We might possibly take that wrap foot away from the floor. Whichever. We swoop out and turn to the right in warrior one. Finding some swoops here. Taking our arm wings out to the sides. We're either on the ball of that back foot, the toes, or we might find that we can lift into some kind of balance. We bring that down and return to a neutral standing position. So this human uprightness very short time in evolution, about 1.5 million years ago. We'll take the weight shifting now forwards and back. Side to side. Settle. From this vertical position, we can open up to our horizon. We can reach and look to the sky. We can bring the arms down, bend and touch the earth. We roll back up. We take a quarter turn to the left. And we repeat. So we open out onto the horizon. Reach to the sky. Then we bring the arms down to touch the earth. We roll back up. Quarter turn to the left. Opening, reaching, bending and touching the earth. Rolling back up. One more quarter turn in the same direction. We open, we reach, look up, We come down and connect the earth. Roll back up. One more quarter turn to bring you back to where you started. From here, our stance is coming wider. Soften through the knees. To the left, we have one arc. The other way. We bend forward in this wide position. Right hand to left leg, foot or floor, and rotate. The top arm comes down. We start to bring the torso up until we can begin to turn to that left side and come into triangle. We bend the front leg to take us into warrior two. The arms come down. We turn forwards here. So, although you can't see, this back foot is just turning out. And we are bending and we're lifting up the toes. You can just see them now, of that lengthened leg. We open. So we can either do this a few times, or we can come on down. See if we can also lift the other heel. And then we push back up. Both legs bend. We arc over to the left. And get ready to flow again. This time we're starting with the right side. We have that length running forwards. Left hand to right leg, foot or the floor. The arm comes up. The arm comes down as we come up. We turn into our triangle. From triangle, we bend the front leg into warrior two. The back leg, we just turn the heel in and toes out. We bring the arms down and just see if we can lift up the toes of that extended leg. Find a balanced place with the arms. You could do this a few times. If it's available, you might want to come all the way down and lift the other heel. If you're down, we come back up, we join the others, let both legs bend, and we arc to the right. And coming out of this, we're letting the toes and heels bring us back. Take a moment to see how you feel in standing, how much has changed possibly from when you started. Different awarenesses, sensations. So we're going to come down into a crouch position. I'm going to change my camera angle. So we are finding this crouch position. So my heels at the moment are off. I have a rock here. So well before we came to upright, about 50 million years ago, creature life came to this squatty position. And then what became very important in our ancestry, the heels being able to drop down. Now, some of you will be able to do this, some of you possibly won't. But I have a sense that as you rock back, you can push the heels down. They may or may not touch. Then we come to a still place. So the heels might be off, or you might find that you could actually drop down onto them. And then about 13 million years ago, we started the sense of being able to reach through the arms, through the treetops. So we're going to just reach one arm up, then the other, perhaps taking a little rotation. Again, you can do this with the heels off. And then we're finding our way out of this onto hands and knees. So in hands and knees, we're going to look at the evolution of the human spine and the organization of the head with the spine takes us right back to 400 million years ago, and we had the fish. So if you imagine the head and the spine of the fish and the movement, we're going to take the feet towards one side and the head comes that way too, and then the other way. So finding your fish swish. Let that settle. And it was a long time before we brought in the up and down movement of the spine. So the mammals in the sea, dolphin, whale, have this movement ability. About 180 million years ago. Take a pause. With mammals, we had creatures that could crawl. So we'll have a sense of this by bringing ourselves up and down the mat, crawling. But this, in actual fact, was only about 18 million years ago, a long time after the sea mammals. And then, as we come to a more human sense, we need to be able to rotate. So, circling through the pelvis, letting it ripple all the way up through the spine to the head. Try the rotations in the other direction. Take a pause. From here, coming to a high kneeling position, you will lose part of my head. But this brings us into a sense of being human, this verticalness. So the fish is giving us lateral bending of the spine. So we are going to place the fingers, reach up, twist. Or bend is probably more accurate, one side and then the other side. We come back for the water mammals, forwards and back. And then our sense of human rotation. We are turning, wrapping, looking over the shoulder. Then the other way. So we're going to come onto hands and knees again. We have a flow that brings together many yoga positions that have names of creatures. So the positions are symbolic to the creature, not an exact representation, but how yoga connects in with our evolutionary heritage, with our external environment. So we're taking the left leg. It's going to come up into tiger. Then we're bringing it into a half scorpion. So you might want to bring the leg down first and then change the arms, or you can keep the leg up and change the arms. See what suits you. This leg then comes down. The toes curl under. We either rock forwards and backwards. Do this possibly with the knees lifted a little bit, or come up into the dolphin and rock. From this, we bend the knees, come down. Reorganize through hands and knees to come into a downward dog. Here we're going to take the left leg. It comes up onto the toes, possibly. You might lift a little. You might find that you can lift it more. Whichever, just let it come through to find your pigeon. We push back out. The hands come to the right so that the left leg can come through. This front foot we're going to turn out. We're going to curl the back toes under, take the knee off. You might be able to lengthen the leg, possibly even drop the pelvis. We have this kind of lizardy lunge. So reptiles, about 280 million years ago, well before us. Then we drop the back knee, we turn the foot back in, we come up. We're going to have a sense of bird. A 150 million years ago. We're going to take the right hand down. The left arm is coming up. We have a twist. You can stay with this, or you might like to curl the back toes under. Take a lengthened leg, possibly drop through the pelvis and rotate. We soften that back down. Hands to the right. We bring the leg in. I am turning to the other side. Tiger. If you need to, bring the leg down. Changing into the half scorpion. This comes down. Toes curled under, rocking. Possibly with a knee lift. Possibly into dolphin. We come back down. Reorganize to prepare for a downward facing dog. This time it's the right heel comes up, possibly the toes. You might be able to extend more. You can either land this leg and step it through, or you can kind of softly swing it through to find your pigeon. Come out of this. Hands to the left so the right leg can come through. We turn the right foot out. We curl under the back toes, possibly take the knee up. See how you might lengthen, how you might drop the pelvis. Soften that back leg. Foot turns back. We come up. We find our bird flight. Taking a pause with the arms up. And then the left hand comes down. We twist. We could stay here. We could curl the back toes under and deepen the twist. And soften back. Hand comes down. And the leg comes back. We'll take a rest. So any child position that feels good for you. Absorbing the journey so far. We begin our life echoing evolution in a watery world of womb. And the movement for most babies to bring them from the water to the land, to stimulate the nervous system and all the things that it will need to be able to do, like breathing air, eating, is stimulated through this movement. So we're coming to a high child. You might already be here. The forehead is down. It's up to you whether the toes are curled under, whether they're released. We're on the forehead, and then we use the pelvis to push forward lightly onto the crown. You might feel that the mouth closes, and then you pull the pelvis back, and you might feel that the mouth opens. This is the movement of birthing. It also will be the movement of feeding. The importance of the midline, the fish heritage, of head and spine. The next time you're on the forehead, take a pause. And then we're going to push our way up into a sitting position. Legs, however, they're comfortable for you, so they could be lengthened. They could be bent. or one of each. So we're circling the shoulders like we did at the very beginning. Circling them back. Bringing the hands to shoulders. Now we're opening the arms high and forward. The little finger, we're going to just turn it and release. And see if you can notice what's happening to the shoulder blades as you do this. The next time your little fingers are turned up, hinge. So you have a lengthened back, you're hinged forwards. I'm going to come back. I'm going to take the arms up. We're going to have the sense of moving through the trees. Let the rib cage help you in this. So it is a body movement that travels through the arms. And this takes us back. About 13 million years ago. Before all this, it was a watery world. We have an echo in our next flow. So we're either sitting like a mermaid, quite close with the legs, 90-90, or possibly lengthened. You choose your mermaid position. And here, we're starting with a sense of water. Allow, although it looks like the arms are doing most of the movement, see if that movement can be initiated from the torso. We are arcing over. We're twisting away. We're twisting back. Then we have the left hand down. We have our reach through. You might stay low, you might come up high. We have a slight variation. Once you're up, see if you can arc it back over, up, over, up, and down. We come into a balance on the sitting bones. See if you can take the hand, they might need to come on the floor, they might have to come out, and just finding a soft cycling motion, but not as though you're really pushing hard on the bike. And then the other way. We're staying with the sense of water. And come down. The other direction. So close 90-90, extended. See which one feels right for you, and it might be different on this side. We're going to use the torso. And then we are creating water-like motion. From this, we're arcing over. Twisting away from the feet. Twisting too. We come back. And we have this reach through, possibly with a lift. Then we're turning downwards, lifting up, turning down, lifting up, and coming all the way down, reorganizing, either keeping the hands grounded or taking them off and finding a soft, cycly motion, change direction. And then coming into your butterfly. So in butterfly, we'll take some absorption, settling through the heart, the small intestine, landing our journey recently through water. So butterflies around about 200 million years ago. Just before the reptiles. Release the hands, let the knees come up a little bit, and a gentle rock from side to side. You might place the elbow into the knee area. Come back through the center. And we're going to find our turtle or tortoise. So we have the legs bent, wide-ish. We're taking the hands and we have a choice. We can either just scoot them under here, or to get the back legs, we turn them in. You might get the hands down here. You might be able to slide them in a little bit further. Some people might be able to come down even lower. Whichever one you're in. So I'll come back up from the low one. I think most people are going to be more here. And just have a sense now that your back is your shell. We come out of this, and we're going to have a sense of limbs coming in and out of the shell. So we have our limbs bent, and then we're going to extend them out of the shell, bend them back in. So reptiles about 280 million years ago. So we have one more flow from sitting. Connecting in with the fish. We're going to let the left leg lengthen. The right leg is bent. We take the hands underneath. We're going to lengthen that leg, and you might notice there's a little rock back. And then as we bend, we come back up. So we're using it to rock us. The foot comes in. We extend over. So we're having a sense of fish and bilateralness. We come back. And the knee comes up a little bit. We reorganize into the half modified fish. We let the leg then lengthen, and we flex and point. So we'll have some movement again. So the neck is lengthened. Then we're going to bend the left leg. That's going to bring us back up. We're going to do the other side. So you might have your hands right under there. You might hold at elbows. And then as we lengthen, there's a little rock back. As we bend, we'll come back up. Then we take the bent leg down and out to the side. We find our fold. We slide all the way back up. We use the bent leg to support us to come down into this modified half fish. When we're there, we lengthen the leg, we flex, we point, we point, we flex. And then rather than come back up, we're going to slide all the way down onto our backs. Settle here. Placing the fingers underneath the back of the head. So we're taking both feet now, turning them to the left, and we're sliding the head. So this is our bilateralness of fish again. We come back to the center, the feet are central. Then we take them to the right and slide to the right. Come back to the center. So a few of these each side. So it's not a spinal twist, it's a lateral bend. It's quite a subtle turn in the feet. We're going to release the hands. Let the head gently roll side to side. So the evolutionary pattern is stored particularly in the hindbrain where we're massaging here. Let that settle. You can keep your arms down. I'm moving them back up so that you can see the movement. So the sea mammals, dolphin and whale, we're tipping the tail down and then up. So we're creating big arcs. We let that settle. You can either now bring the arms out shoulder height, or you can have them under the head. We're spinal twisting, but we're leading from the tailbone. So feel that the movement starts at the tailbone, the pelvis, over one way, head the other this time for the twist, different to the lateral bend. We come back through the center, release down. So we have a flow here. I'm going to push down, come up into the bridge and let the left leg slide into a lengthened position. Then we're going to, as we bring it in, we're going to roll back down. The arms come up. We reach for the apple with the with the right arm and pelvis, then the left. We come back. We bring the arms and legs up and have a sense of possibly jellyfish, octopus, the tentacles moving in water. Gently bring that down. So once again on the left side. So we're coming up into the bridge. It's the left leg lengthens. As we bring it back in, we roll on down. We reach, starting with the left side, arm, pelvis lift, then the right. That bilateral rock side to side. So we bring the legs up. We have this tentacle moving through water. And 4, 100 million years ago. We let that come down. And the legs come up. We circle out and in. We change direction. We widen out. The hands can be underneath supporting, or they can be inside pulsing. Then we bend, happy baby, either to the sides of the leg or the feet. We're going to have a rock here, side to side. Then coming into a butterfly. Hands under the head again, unless it's not comfortable, and then wherever you want them. So we're spinal twisting in butterfly. So we try and keep the feet together in some kind of contact. Knees towards each other, open through butterfly, and then the other way. The feet go from soul connection to the sides of the foot connection. It should be the inside foot rather than the outside. We're going to finish in the butterfly again. We'll come and absorb heart, small intestine. And we're extending out into a starfish. Have a feel of this. Then come back in, see if you can roll onto a side. Hand to navel, the center. Finding then your tentacles as though they're moving in water. From here, we're coming back through starfish, however that is for you. So you have your center, extended out from it. Then we come over to the other side. Upper hand on the navel. Then finding your tentacles. Feel that they're moving right from the center of the body. Bring that down. And then organize yourself onto the front of your body. We're resting forehead on hands. We're letting the pelvis have a little rock side to side. Take a pause. The hands come down to the lower rib cage. Taking an in-breath, allowing an out-breath, connecting to your breath, a sense of gill-like breath through the lower rib cage. Then coming to feel the bones of the spine where you can reach. And coming back to support the forehead, we're bending the legs. We're taking the feet to the left, we're turning the head that way as well. Back through the center to the right. So this is the fish swish. It's a lateral bend one way and the other. Turning to the center. Let one leg rest. Let the other leg rest. We're going to bring the hands down now to the projecting hip bones. From fish into a sense of insect, like a locust. We are pressing the heart down, lifting up our arm wings, lengthening one leg, letting it raise. Then we're bringing all that down. We're going to do the same, but with the other leg. So we push the heart down, lift up, the wings come up, and so does the leg. And back. So one more on each side. We release the hands. And we're coming up to a sphinx or low cobra. Just let the shoulders circle back. Now see if you can find some forward and backward movement with the spine here. Like the dolphin and whale movement. Take a pause. If you get tired, then you can always lower it down. But we're coming now for a lizard. There are different ways of lizarding. We're going to take one leg and let it bend, flex the foot, and then it comes back. We change then. So there's a lot going on in the pelvis for this. So allow these movements. Alternating. You might find that you just want to do one or two very slowly. You can always pause. And come back down. So for the sense of the upper arms, we're coming to have the elbows up, thumbs and fingertips down. We've drawn in the abdominals, the gluteus muscles. We lift up that heart again, that we did a little bit earlier, and we pulse. You might find that you do one or two and then rest. So, sense of iguana. And then rest. From here, brushing yourself back up to hands and knees, letting the torso move in any way it would like to. Coming to choose the final sitting position, however you would like your legs. And absorb the session, small intestine, heart. So noticing the sensations in your body. Landing with the evolutionary journey. Hearing the world through your ears. Feeling it through your skin. How it makes you feel. Being with your internal and external environment simultaneously. And softly opening the eyes to the light, colours, textures and shapes around you. Thank you very much for journeying with our evolution, evoking our evolutionary heritage. So you might be staying here to explore more, to rest. You may be transitioning. Okay, the skin is a good place to transition so that your outer boundary. So doing what you need. And I'd like to thank you again for sharing Evoking Evolution mat movement with